Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend, principal at the CTO Advisor. You know, I've been looking forward to this conversation. I have a sponsor of the channel, Intel, who sponsors the CTO Advisor data center, and then a good friend from the industry, Wade Holmes, who's the manager of infrastructure modernization at Google. He has a bunch of different titles. I just call him the VMware Cloud guy at Google because he's primarily responsible for the VMware Cloud solution at Google. We have not had him on the program, so we're making up for this. Thank you, Intel, for sponsoring this. And speaking of Intel, we have Justin Van Buren, who is an account executive for the relationship with Google Cloud at Intel. Justin, welcome to the show.
Hi, Keith. Great to be here.
And Wade, welcome to the show.
Hey, Keith. Awesome to be here with you.
All right. So we're coming off of a big report in which we compared all of the VMware cloud solutions, etc. And one of the, let's just get right to the meat of this. x86 is x86. Right? I mean, when I'm thinking about the advantage of VMware abstracting all of this, and Justin, this is for you primarily. When I think about abstracting the data center, the whole point of VMware vSphere is that I can abstract the data center away from me. That all these bits. What's some of the primary advantages of having Intel on-prem and Intel in my public cloud, specifically around the VMware cloud solutions?
Well, great. Well, great question, Keith. Well, essentially, first things first, you want everything to work, and you want things to work seamlessly, whether it's on-premise or in Google Cloud VMware Engine. So first things first, there's a capability of vMotioning where if you vMotion from on-premise to GCVE, you can seamlessly vMotion across multiple generations of Xeon you have on-premise and into the latest Intel-based technologies that's within Google Cloud VMware Engine. So that's one big advantage. Second is, Intel's worked with tens of thousands of software vendors through the years. And there's a lot of hardware instructions that speed up a lot of the applications, things like VDI, or things like some of your security-based applications in that VMware environment. Also, there's been a lot of capabilities that are now in the Google Cloud VMware Engine. For instance, now you can 4x that density of VMs going from, say, your 5-year-old VMware server, Intel-based VMware server to GCVE. And so all the software optimizations that already happen on Intel in that VMware environment on-premise, you can take advantage of that within the Google Cloud VMware Engine. So you get that consistent, predictable application performance. And you don't have to worry about that. It will just work.
So you're bringing up a really important point within the infrastructure realm in general, especially when I think about hybrid solutions. And Wade, I'd like you to weigh in on this, which is the observability track. I understand the ability to vMotion and current generation hardware and being within the same Intel family. Intel to Intel, I know I can vMotion from Intel to Intel to some other x86 is a little bit less. You can't do it, frankly. So I get that advantage. But this observability thing that you mentioned, Wade, as I look at my internal infrastructure and I need to size VDI that runs on-prem versus VDI that's running public cloud, how does Google VMware Engine help me solve that basic observability problem?
As we look at an environment that needs to move into Google Cloud VMware Engine, there's a number of tools that can assist with understanding the posture on premises. And then as Justin mentioned, there's the ability to seamlessly move these workloads into Google Cloud VMware Engine based on the abstraction based from a VMware technology perspective that is now available in Google Cloud VMware Engine as a service. And then also the underlying x86 bits that you're So basically, if it runs on premises, you're able to run in the cloud easily. So we have tooling that allows for you to understand what you have on premises, and then be able to move that in seamlessly. And those same tools that you utilize on premises can be utilized in Google Cloud VMware Engine for day two operations. Or if you, as you go down your modernization journey, you can utilize some of the Google Cloud native services that allows for additional observability, additional day two operation capability, whether it's cloud operations or whether it's utilizing other of some of our data analytics capabilities that are built into Google Cloud's platform.
So one of the things that obviously comes up to my mind is kind of measuring some of the things that Justin talked about. The relationship of Intel with VDI vendors, whether it's VMware or even Citrix. There are some optimizations inside of the Intel processor and Intel chipset that enables better VDI experiences. How do I guess the question is, one, is Google VMware Engine as a service exposing that Intel based capability out to these other VDI instances? Like, are you guys abstracting away all of the value that Intel brings other than the point to be able to vMotion on-prem to my off-prem or public cloud instances?
No, absolutely not. So the service utilizes the same VMware bits that a customer would utilize on premises. So anything that's exposed by vSphere for compute or NSX for network virtualization or vSAN for storage virtualization, any of those capabilities that take advantage of the x86 extensions are also bubbled up within the Google Cloud VMware Engine service. So that's why we can say to our customers that are utilizing the service, if it's running on premises, there's a good chance that it's going to run at the same posture or even better in Google Cloud VMware Engine because we have the latest and greatest hardware within the service.
So Justin, talk to me about, you're an account executive, so I'm going to hit you with the money question. Like, what's the type of customer that looks at as a service type offering for whether it's VMware, bare metal, etc., Intel type solutions consumed as a service?
Well, Keith, the exciting thing that we've seen from Google is that they launched this service in June of this year. I believe now have it in 10 regions, so all around the world. And we're seeing a lot of great use cases. But, what I would say right now is we're seeing a lot of customers use it for what you mentioned for VDI. A lot of customers are using it for disaster recovery, and a lot of customers are using it also to just extend their VMware footprint. And then there's quite a few also that, hey, they want to get out of the business of managing their own data center, but still like the VMware tooling environment and so forth. We're seeing all those sorts of use cases, and I would kind of term them more the lower hanging fruit. I think over time you're going to see also a lot more transactional database and a lot more extensive use cases. The service just launched. I think Wade, maybe you could speak to this, but from our perspective, we're seeing as one of Google's fastest rising services, just because it's quite a seamless migration for Google's customers to use VMware on premise and then vMotion out to Google Cloud VMware Engine. So we're really thrilled with all the use cases and the usability from and adoption from Google Cloud customers.
Well, you know what? You threw Wade at this, so I'm going to ask Wade a question I did not prepare him for, but I really, you know what? You've literally written books on these topics, so you know what? You can handle it. Cost. When I published that we basically spend about $219,000 a year on the CTO Advisor hybrid infrastructure, that kind of piqued your curiosity. But when I do the math, when I look at the GVE service and I extrapolate that out for a year, That's not a small amount of money. I mean, what am I committing to when I sign up for a GVE service? Am I going to have to write a check for $220,000 a year? How am I consuming this thing?
So that's the beauty of the service, is that you can consume it either on demand in an hourly basis. So if you want to spin up a dedicated private cloud environment within Google Cloud VMware Engine, whether it's 3 nodes or up to 64 nodes within a private cloud, you can spin that up for an hour and pay for an hour, or you can and spin it back down, or you can consume it via 1 or 3 year commit contracts if you know that you have a steady state workload that you're going to migrate into the environment. So this gives flexibility in both how you consume with data center extension, but also use cases such as bursting capacity, DR, where you may have an event where you want to spin up and spin down resources. So this gives a lot of flexibility and allows you to optimize your TCO further as you consume the service.
And while we didn't really measure it as a component of the report that we did, we found that GVE, for whatever reason, you guys spin up faster than the other services, at least in our accounts in the regions that we were in the other cloud providers, but you spun up faster and you added nodes faster. Me and you will have to dig into that in a later video, but that gives credence to the idea of I'm using it for DR, I'm using it for bursting, because I do pay for that time. Once I hit provision and it's provisioning in all the cloud providers, I notice I pay for that time that it takes to actually provision the service. Where are you seeing the most success within customer accounts?
So we're seeing a number of different use cases. Given the times we're in today, expanding remote workforce with VDI, as mentioned on GCVE, is a prevalent use case. DR is mentioned, and whether it's utilizing a VMware tool such as Site Recovery Manager or other partner tools to be able to utilize it as either utilize a Google data center as a secondary DR site, or utilizing DR across regions. As mentioned, we are available globally in 10 regions today across the world. And then there are just the customers that want to utilize it in a stepwise approach in their app modernization journey. They have a number of different applications, legacy applications, COTS applications that aren't ready to be containerized, aren't ready to be refactored, but they're still business critical, and they want to be able to take advantage of the agility of cloud. And that's where GCVE is a perfect fit, and be able to now have the best of both worlds, the agility of cloud but utilizing the same operational posture, the same technology posture, same toolings, don't have to retrain their people, and then able to now also access a lot of the Google Cloud native services, whether it's data analytics with BigQuery or AI ML, or containerizing a stepwise approach as is warranted by the organization.
Well, Wade and Justin, I really appreciate you both joining the show. And you know what? While it's sponsored, I still ask pretty awkward and tough questions, and you both handled them great. If you want to find out more about the CTO Advisor, you can visit us on the web, thectoadvisor.com. You can follow me on Twitter. Challenge me. Did I give these guys a hard enough time? Do you have questions that you would ask, that you would like for me to relay to them? DMs are open. Talk to you next CTO Dose.